congratulations. What two games it's been for you. 4 points here in the Grand Slam. You must be delighted with things right now.
Yeah, I'm indeed definitely delighted. But the two games didn't, for me, the Grand Slam didn't start today or yesterday. It started last week. So in the whole context of everything, I've played. I think this is my 6th game or whatever. But I've played very, very well. So I have, from the whole context of qualifying for the Grand Slam, and between yesterday and today,
What's been the turning point for you? Because it's not been an easy season, but now all of a sudden you seem to be finding your top gear, like you say, qualifying for this, and the man that you did, beating two players of the calibre that you have. What's changed?
Well, it was just going into on the last Players' Championship. I probably was on edge. I had been probably the last number of weeks. I had been on edge, probably trying to qualify for the World Championship, and I had a good run in the second to last Players' Championship between Michael and probably should have beat Donny Napper. I had 4 or 5 darts, and I was playing on my mind going into the last Players' Championship that they're the opportunity. They're names the opportunities that come your way. And the day before, I had 3 darts to beat Mansell, so I had opportunities, and I'd left myself in a predicament going into the last Players' Championship. A bit of stress, and look, I'm about here a long time, and I kind of try to not dwell on it, but you can't do it. So whenever come Thursday and I'd qualified for the World Championship, it was just, I don't know, it was just like a whole bit of relief. And then going into Friday into the Grand Slam qualifier, which I haven't done well in any of the qualifiers. I think Dimitri may beat me in the final or whatever, but I just thought to myself, let's give a slash here and see, you know what I mean? I knew I'm playing well, but I wasn't getting sort of the results of the wee bit of the rub of the green. And whenever the first qualifier started against Matt Campbell, it was like, bang, game on here. And thankfully, touch wood, it hasn't stopped at the minute,
But that game there, you started brilliantly, but then you kind of dropped off and you were in a little bit of trouble. But that 180 and the 114 finish really spun it back round in your favour. Those moments that you're now producing, you must think you can go on and do some real damage here.
I feel comfortable in situations, you know what I mean? And again, what you're saying, 2-0 down, 2-1 down, or they're the predicament. I have got myself into that sort of situation, but I do believe I do serious practicing at home on finishing, and if I can get a bit of an opportunity at the minute, no different at the minute, but this long time I've always believed I can take them out, but at the minute I am taking them out, and that's, as I say, evidence in the last number of games. I'm taking out big finishes, because I do believe, you know what I mean. I do believe, and I'm confident myself of that situation.
Mickey, congratulations.
Thanks.
Mickey, obviously it's Luke Humphreys tomorrow. You're going to be top of the group going into that game, maximum points at the moment. How does that game sort of look in your head, and do you believe you've got it to go 3 out of 3 in the group and win that?
I suppose that in the context of the whole group, you're looking at I always thought there was 2 chances between James and Rowby-John. No disrespect to either of them. You got to put things into perspective. Luke Humphreys he's number 1 in our game. He's the best player in the world. He has everything to back it up. He's the best player. So anything that comes with that is a bonus. Obviously, the results between Rowby-John yesterday has put the whole thing up in the air, you know what I mean, which is great for me and Rowby-John, you know what I mean. But going in tomorrow, I suppose, look, what's the worst thing that can happen? I can get beat, you know what I mean. I'm playing well, and I've nothing to lose against the best player we have, and playing darts at the minute,
I remember when you won your Pro Tour title, you were saying you've been here for a long time, and it was a big moment for you winning that title. But look, we've seen what's happened over the last couple of months or so. The likes of Richie Edhouse, the likes of Mike Tedeka going on winning these titles. Is the belief there that you can go on and claim a major championship?
Well, look, first of all, you could sit at home and you could say you want to play in major champion. You'd like to win majors and all. But from my perspective, first of all, the first priority is been in them. You know what I mean? And I no, I can't say I want to win a major or I'm going to win 4 majors or what. I have to be in them. You know what I mean? And I'm not, from my perspective of the situation where I come from. I know Gary didn't like being labelled a part-time dart thrower by Michael, you know, but I work 5 days a week. Obviously, Spunner the works this year and how everything is, but like I'm not a full-time. I haven't never been a full-time dart player from 2011. I envy so many players that's able to do it. I look at the rankings all the time and I see the boys that's in front of me and the boys that's behind me. That is professional dart players, and that is that's a life that they're doing very well. How would I perform if that opportunity was given to me? I don't know, you know what I mean. But for me, I think I'm probably overachieving in the situations. But back to your question, you have to be in something before you have a chance of winning it, first of all, you know.
Have you ever considered going full time, and if so, why not?
It's just, as I say, the whole circumstances coming back to 2011. I was paying the first 5-6 years on the tour. I paid my own way, and people don't probably understand how the PDC has evolved. But you were paying entry fees, you were paying flights and accommodation. I have a wife and 3 young children at the time. My oldest lad was 7 years of age, so the 3 was younger and that. He's now 19. They have all kind of lived with my situation, and I'm very fortunate in how everything has worked. But it just was never sustainable, you know what I mean? And I know Barry can talk, you know, it's about the money in the game and all the rest, you know, but starting off financially, could I gamble to come to the PDC against the best players in the world and take £200 off Phil Taylor or Gary Anderson? It wasn't sustainable. It wasn't a gamble that I was willing to take, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, I think from 2011, me and Chizzy's the only 2 players that has hung on till our tour card, so I've battled away rightly under the circumstances.
Congrats on that, Mickey.
Thank you.
Mickey, this is the first time that you've played in this tournament. You've been on tour a long time. When you are breaking new ground still, despite being on tour for that amount of time, does that give you belief and confidence that the game is still there and can progress even further?
It is. Look, I suppose age is a number. I'm probably on the wrong side of the PDC's criteria. You know what I mean? But look, it's about how you feel and how confident you are, and it doesn't matter what age. You know what I mean? I feel. I think I have a practice session at home. My numbers is better than they've ever been. You know what I mean? And probably got into last weekend at 110 average against Matt Campbell. It's the highest average that I've had on the floor. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. Probably even yesterday maybe might have been my highest TV average. So the number for what I think and how I feel, the numbers is backing up my situation. You know what I mean? I do feel I'm playing as well as I have been. Yeah.
You talked about getting into the World Championship. You will be there, but you're not going to be in Minehead. So how do you, after this tournament, now bridge that gap and make sure that the form that you're showing in practice and on the stage can continue up until Alexandra Palace? Well,
I suppose from that Thursday, you know, I had looked at the calendar and there was a massive gap between the Players' Championship, last Pro Tour, and getting into the Players' Championship, which I hadn't qualified for, and I didn't know it was a massive gap. So that was, you know, I was thinking, how do I fill that? All of a sudden, the next day, that gap's been filled. You know what I mean? I'm here this week, and how much longer I stay. But I'll probably look about tournaments at home, so I will that I'm allowed to play in, or hopefully they're not non-PDC events. You know what I mean? But I will look for something to keep me on edge. You know what I mean? I have to say, you know, disappointed about not being in Minehead. Probably a good part of the, you know, I was down the rankings, so I kind of I'm a disappointed. Not really. Look, you are where you are because you deserve where you are. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the World Championships because I deserve to be in the World Championships.
Cheers, Nick, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
All good.